time for the sickos. I'm all elite with the game from the get-go. Ain't full of no stardust, I'm a real nightmare, bruh. You can meet me at the crossroads. Business is booming, I feel like the hurt syndicate, and they tell me don't hurt anybody. I'm way too fly like Kevin, I could do this all night. Step back, it's a private party. I'm more dirty than dumb with the way I live. No saint like Ricky with the vibes I give. Looking at my watch, it's about that time. When I hit them with the toodles, it's a lot like Tiff. Might as well call me Tony. They don't even know that I'm timeless. AJ Francis, all I really know is first class. $1 million man, 2 prices. You ain't even over. Shout out to my dogs like Bron. Baby, I'm a limit breaker. You are just a death rider. Can't rest in peace. I saved that for the Undertaker. Proceed with caution, but you ain't Naomi. Can't book the team. Your name must be Tony. IWC say you got to go. I like Jermaine and Crash. Run it. Let's start the show. Cool kids step to the front. Cool kids. Too sweet sign for the click. Gotta give the people what they want. Gotta get ready, K quick. Yeah, I'm like Seth with the outfits. Coming in hot, too live on your outlets. Running these streets like the prophets. Thank God for the new day, can't stop it. Jay Uso with the yeet. Eat, sleep, flex, and repeat. Whole new swag with a price on the tag like Javon on the young OG. Better recognize on the mouthpiece. See the power level gotta increase. Bring your content on the daily. Feeling like Grasha Unleashed.
Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, non-binary pals, baby mamas, baby daddies, and everybody in between. Welcome back to the Gresham Lee's podcast. This is episode 117 of the show that brings you the good vibes to the best of our abilities. Joining you as always is the voice that does the most, the purveyor of mischief, Gresh. You're hearing the new tune or the remake of the Unleashed anthem because, hey man, we are running with the times. That was meant to be introduced after WrestleMania, but we're like 2 weeks late, but better late than never. But however, just like we are late on tonight's show, hey, we are here on time with some good vibes. And joining me as always is one of my guys. He is none other representing the Sucio Boys podcast as well as the giant of the family, none other than Jermaine. What's good with your brother?
Nothing much, bro. Just vibing out, having a great time.
Young OG.
Every time I hear it, like I'm like
we had to it was time for us to update the song because there's certain references we had to upgrade because like even though the original song is still on streaming platforms, if you guys want to continue to listen to it, the vibe still remains the same. So it's just something highlight who will be here as soon as he can. He was like, hey, bro, let's switch it up a little bit. Like, instead of changing the song, let's just switch up the lyrics and whenever something major happens, or it might be a yearly or bi-yearly thing. However long we decide to keep doing this show, we might switch it up every year or every like mid-season or something like that. Just to give you guys something. But hey, speaking of giving you guys something, the main bread and butter of tonight's episode is Backlash is this weekend.
Yep.
Goddamn. I had no idea until I looked at my calendar. I was like, oh shit.
Dog, like it. I think it hit me like this past weekend, really, that it was this coming weekend, because there was a bunch of boxing matches that came on this weekend, and they were terrible. Like none of them were.
I can tell because, brother, no one talked to me about it,
bro.
You didn't even put it in the group chat, so that means that tells me everything I need to know. If nobody talks about it in any group chat, I'm in like 2 group chats. If neither one of y'all are talking about it in these group chats, then that means shit is ass,
bro. It was so bad. I got a homeboy that I grew up with, that we love boxing. I mean, we'll watch like all kinds of fights and stuff like that. He wasn't even paying attention to it. He asked me, "Hey, what did you think? Should I watch it? Is it worth it?" And I was like, "Nah, bro, it ain't worth it." I was like, "I'm gonna be honest with you, it ain't worth it." I said, "What I saw." I was like, "You be better off going back and watching that UFC card from Saturday night than watching the fights from Friday."
It was a UFC card.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Yeah, they had a fight night card that was on.
That lets you know that this whole TKO merger is not beneficial because I don't give a fuck about UFC. Nothing is happening that is going on. But what I do give a fuck about is my boy Highlight Reel just slid in. What's good with you, bro?
Hey, what's good, everybody? Y'all hearing me loud and clear out there? What's up?
Yeah,
What's up?
you know.
Hey.
Your camera your camera is off center. I thought you should know.
yeah, I still be working on that.
There we go. There we go.
Y'all cool with that? All right. We making this thing. What's up?
This man over here talking this way. Oh, bro, we see all this.
Hey, y'all gotta excuse me. Look, your boy came straight out to work job. I was like, okay. Just in time, but still off time. Pulled up and I was like, all right,
that's the production OCD in me that be talking. I'm like, hey, bro.
Oh no, you good. Hey, as an artist, I get it, brother. I get it. You know what I'm saying? If the audio ain't right, we know. So I get it.
All three of us have that little something like, hey, this got to be right here. This got to, like.
Absolutely.
It's like you be like, hey, I'm editing clips. Like, hey, Grash, why is highlight talking in and out of the camera? My bad. Sorry.
Oops. It wasn't intentional, people. But I heard y'all talking about that boring fight, and I was just like, yep.
That was intentional. Boring fights this weekend. That was fucking intentional. Nobody's talking about it.
Exactly. I was just telling Gresh, because Gresh was like, Backlash is coming up this weekend. Mm-hmm. And I was telling him it didn't dawn on me that Backlash was coming up this weekend until I was talking about the fights. I think it was this. It may have been, it was yesterday. I was actually talking about the fights from this past weekend with my homeboy. Mm-hmm. And that's when I was like, oh, wait, Backlash is this weekend. Because we was talking about what's next or what's next coming boxing matches and stuff like that. I was like, I said, oh, wait a minute. WWE got a pay-per-view coming up this weekend. And he's not a big wrestling fan at all. He was like, damn, did they just have WrestleMania? He said it. He's not even a wrestling fan like that no more.
No, bro, I agree. Look, when they showed that graphic and I saw this Saturday, I was like, dang, that's this Saturday? I was like, shoot.
I think what threw it off too is because WrestleMania was later than normal. Mm-hmm. That's what threw it off, because WrestleMania isn't it usually during the Big Four weekend?
Yeah.
It's either that last weekend in March or one of those first weekends in April.
Yeah, I'm like, damn.
That's WWE don't do no more Easter Sunday weekend maintenance, please.
Yes,
don't do that.
Like I said last week, you had people celebrating 3 holidays at once. You had WrestleMania, you had 420, and Easter. So they was getting high while praising the Lord and watching graps. Like,
yep.
You just asking for too much. Like, you just and shout out to Lo with a Wrestling Wind Down. She said it took her 2 business weeks to finally recover from Vegas.
Yeah.
And Maine as well.
Hey, shout out to Lip Gloss and Ladders, bro. They said Vegas won, so that means Vegas is undefeated.
It was weird because being out there for that long, like I guess like my body got adjusted to that time zone or something. Mm-hmm. And when I came, and it's only like a 2-hour difference for me to there. And like when I came back, it was like I felt weird, like I was always tired, my stomach felt weird. Like it was just, I don't know, bro. It was
a lot of people said there's some people said they weren't sick like some people were, but they said they felt it in their throat. Like it just felt like they ain't have no voice.
Yeah.
They was always sleepy. And I'm like, imagine if you went from that and had to go straight to work, boy, you would be fucked up,
brother.
Yeah. That would have been
done for. Like,
I'm about to say, speaking of done for, if you go according to social media standards, WWE is done for these releases that they did over the weekend. Man. It is done for. We are boycotting TKO for life, and then live tweeting Monday Night Raw a couple of days later, or better yet, was live tweeting SmackDown not literally 5 hours, later.
What are we doing?
You know what I did?
Are we doing?
I went straight to sleep. Like, see, one thing about me, I'm not about to announce my boycott. I'm like, you know what? I'm not feeling this episode tonight. I feel like nothing's really gonna probably happen, so I'm just gonna watch the highlights, and I just went straight to sleep. I'm like, I'm not like y'all. I don't voice my displeasure anymore. I just don't fuck with it. There's nobody obligated to know what I'm doing. I'm like, man, it's getting to a point where even the loyalist WWE fans are like, man, y'all are full of bullshit. Just shut up. Just shut up. Like y'all
Yeah,
always
for
saying y'all
real.
gonna boycott some shit and y'all don't even one thing y'all don't need to boycott is soap. I know y'all boycott soap. So don't boycott that and then stop boycotting wrestling too, because it's getting to a point. Y'all just sound redundant because
Soap
we know you're
and
gonna
deodorant.
watch.
Soap and deodorant.
We know
And,
you're
and laundry detergent and washers and dryers.
Speaking of which, Mr. Jermaine, sir, since you were there firsthand, on
Yes,
count, how many bodies did you count that clearly reek of clear, just pure musty? I'm curious.
You know, I'm not gonna lie. I was at a few. I was at a few events. I wasn't at very many because y'all know I don't like going outside very much. But thank God, I did not. I don't recall encountering any. Now that's not to say that they weren't present. It's just I personally did not encounter any of that. It was some weird people. It was some weird people and stuff
that's
like
everywhere.
that. You know, the vibes be off and stuff like that, and you know, whatever. It's whatever. But I will say, like, thank God I did not encounter any BO, any typical wrestling fan odor. So I'm thankful for that.
Yeah. So
And what's gonna get me is I plan on like I want to go to more shows and stuff like that. But that's the one thing that's gonna scare me.
especially the indie ones.
Oh
The
yeah.
independent. It's like they say you support the indies, but it's like I want to support y'all, but some of y'all stink.
Thankfully, I was sitting next to people who I know and trust, and I know that they take showers and they wash their clothes and they wear deodorant. So I didn't
Or
have
even
to
if you
kind of.
come from outside sweating, at least have like backup deodorant in your bag, so where it's like you can go to the bathroom, freshen up, and touch up, where it can at least last you another 3 hours, and then go to take a shower. There's ways to
Mhm.
prevent funk from spreading like a virus.
Big
Yes.
facts, bro. Big
Yes.
facts.
So like I've done that plenty of times where I was on a quick turnaround. I was like, I'm sweating outside, but I have to get to this show. But I'm like, I can't make it home in time, so I had to go to the bathroom, freshen up, whip out that 24 hour, 74 hour, or however number deodorant, and I was good. And then as soon as I got back to the crib, shower, and then
Mhm.
straight to bed.
It's
So-
that simple, you know. And still take your showers, but if it's that much of a problem,
or if it's
like
that quick,
just shave or get a whack guy. You know, that's it. That's
like,
it.
if you don't want to keep up the, no.
Oh
Look, you
man.
could bare minimum go into the bathroom and just soap and water under your arms and stuff. Like, I mean, like for real. Like, do something. Do something.
But these releases, did any of them shock you?
Honestly, it's like yes and no. I mean, there's a lot of obvious ones like the Cora Jade one, the Jakar Jackson one, the Gigi Dolan one. Definitely were like key shockers to me in a way because of like I've noticed a lot of other people say how much Braun Strowman surprised them. I don't know how.
I'm not. Were we watching the same guy for the past couple of months? Respectfully,
That's what I'm saying.
His
Like,
brother's knees are cooked.
and I think everybody's case on why they were so surprised, it seems because I guess they were looking at how much good work he was doing with Brian Reed, and you know, of course, Jacob Fatu having those bangers with them. But and I guess being in that role of just putting the next big monster over, right? But it's like, why are you still surprised by that when the dude's been released before? Like some of the ones that got released before, that's why I'm not surprised. Because I'm like,
I think I read somewhere it was either Wrestling Observer or Fightful. They say it was because of salary.
It was I believe it was a combination of things. They said it was like It was salary that they were getting paid, usage moving forward, age. They also said something about work ethic and something like that.
Oh yeah,
But
didn't Paul Heyman flat out say he sucked
yeah, I
to his
mean,
face?
he
Damn.
got him on the I want to say it was the Pat McAfee show,
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken. And
Yeah.
bro, it's just it's one of those things, man, where like if you look at when he tries to do the little whole train thing and do the run around and the
He's a
shoulder tackle
cook.
thing, bro,
Mhm.
it takes him like to run halfway, like 3/4 or so around the ring before he gets up to full speed. And full
Mhm.
speed ain't that fast for a dude that big. And it still takes him
2020
forever to
was
get
the
up to
last
full
time he
speed.
ran full speed around that ring.
And
Bruh,
guess who's
ridiculous.
replaced that? Guess who's the new replacement for that one? Mr. Braun Breaker. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Hey,
when a guy like that's doing it twice the speed you did it in your prime, it's like, well, we don't need you anymore.
yeah.
The sad thing is his prime was 5 years ago.
I know.
And the thing is, bro, like when you're a big man and you know your mobility is limited, you shouldn't do moves that require you to be more mobile.
You would think he would have came back. Like I noticed that when he first came back, I'm like, bro, why is he moving funny? And it was like, yo,
Mhm.
it's his knees. I'm like, you might want to change that. And he didn't.
Yeah.
And he got worse.
No. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm
Yep.
like,
Because remember, he used to do stuff like drop kicks and everything.
and he still did
Mhm.
it, but you could tell it was taking him a long time to get back up.
Yeah, bro.
I'm like,
Yeah.
brother, you are struggling. Like, I'm gonna need you to switch it up. But then,
Yeah,
and then it's on another hand. It's like the company he is like, if you do switch it up, we can replace you because it's like we're pretty much booking you because of what you could do. But if you don't do it no more, we're gonna move on with this guy and this guy.
And the thing is, man, like just me being a nerd of the business and studying things like that and stuff, like as a big man, you're supposed to look imposing. Your moves are supposed to be methodical and slow and powerful and impactful and whatnot. And you can mix in that athleticism if you want. However, you have to make sure like your movements and your motions and everything, like it all has to go together and flow. And like you said, when he kept all those explosive parts of his move set and things that he does and whatnot, and he no longer has that explosion, you just it's painfully obvious, you know. And you see other guys, they may not be as big as he is, but they're other big men. You got Jacob Fatu doing springboard moonsaults back to back to
Like
back,
it's nothing.
Yeah.
and he damn near 300 pounds. You got guys like Ivar doing cartwheels and moonsaults and stuff like that, and he like 3 something. You know, and when you see other guys, big guys moving like that, it's like, well, what's wrong with you? Why you can't do that no more?
Let's not fit Samoa Joe as older as he is still able to move like he did when he was in his 20s. So, you know, there's that too.
You could tell he's slowed down, but that's a big man that has curtailed his stuff and kind of like modified what he does in the ring according to how he can move now. But he, like you said, he can still do that insecurity kick in the corner like nothing. And I mean, it looks just as good as it did 15 years ago.
But you can also look at Joe being experienced in the industry. If you look at his ring style compared to when he first started in Ring of Honor and all that stuff to now, he's definitely switched up his style, but to a point where it doesn't come off as he's replacing something because he has that multi tool in his arsenal to where if he relaxes on the high octane stuff, because let's be real, we haven't seen that man do a tope suicida in years.
That is true. It was I want to say it was
I think it was like
early on.
2018. Like
Yeah, it was like
on
on his main roster run. I want to say was the last time I think I've seen him do it, like at some point. But yeah, it's just crazy, man. But like I agree with you guys with the ladies that got released, but at the same time, when I look at the ladies who got released and I look at who they just brought in and who they're talking about bringing in or whatever, you can see why. Like you know that women's roster is getting real competitive, and you either got it or you don't. And
the one who I feel like who got it was Jakara. You would have thought.
Yeah, that one is the one. See, one thing about Cora, the common theme that's been from what I've heard from other people, and I have to agree with it because you forget for a second she's as young as she is. Like, she's only 23, 24. So it's like, sky's the limit for that girl. She just got to go run her courses and do what she do. We see this all the time with people that young. They get released, they go do their thing, and she can either pull a Matt Cardona and just be doing her own thing, being a little bit of everywhere, or she can invent herself and end up back in WWE in, say, 3 to 4 years. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But like Jakara Jackson, I think honestly, even though she's older, she still ain't that old where she can also be back, say, in like maybe a year, 2 years tops, depending on what she decides to do and where she decides to go run her courses at. So I think she'll be back, but I think she just has that chip on her shoulder of saying, oh, okay, you know, all due respect to my tag team partner, Lash, that's my girl, this and that.
Mm-hmm.
But I see what the writing was on the wall. You know, I saw somebody on Twitter post that clip of when the breakup happened, and they were like looking at Jakara Jackson, and like you could tell she probably even knew just from the look on her face in that scene. And it's like, yeah, she got some points to prove. You know, I think she gonna
for sure
burn the world down if you will. But what y'all think?
I'm seeing some people on social media saying they see her have a run in like Stardom. I'm not familiar with Stardom, so I wouldn't be able to confirm nor deny that situation. But I feel like she do need to go crazy everywhere because she posted her information on June 1st. She'll be free and clear.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, you can tell she's not done wrestling. So I can definitely see her going because she's 30. That's still young. Unlike some of these motherfuckers out online talking about, oh, once you hit 30, you're old. No, that's 30. She just hit her prime years. So it's like, no. She can go crazy. Like I wouldn't be surprised if we see her pop up in the ROH. I'm not saying go straight to AEW, but I wouldn't be surprised because don't they have like a television division over there? I'm just throwing that name out there. I can see her running it back to TNA. I can see her running it to. There's so many places locally as well as internationally that she can go. So
definitely, I really think that and they also do like they can do like one-off appearances and stuff like that. Like I know they do contract appearances and stuff too. So,
a handshake deal.
Yep.
So, yeah. The sky's the limit for the women on the women's side in general across the board. If they decide to keep going at it, they will be fine.
Yeah, I definitely think that she's gonna keep going. And when I saw the other thing I wanted to bring up is when she said June 1st, this makes me think that her contract was up and they decided not to renew. Because typically if it was cut in the middle of her contract, like if she had a year, 2 years or whatever left, they would have had a 90-day no compete. So I'm wondering if hers is one of the contracts that they decided not to renew since she's saying June 1st.
I would say I think they said the NXT contracts are 30 days.
Oh, you know what? You're right.
The main roster contracts.
You're right. You are right. That is
remember when Aleister Black left for AEW, he was only uneligible for 30 days because they forgot to upgrade his contract to the 90.
Right. Yeah, you sure right about that. You're right. Yeah, that is true. So, yeah, but I mean, I look forward to seeing what she's gonna do. And one of the reasons why, to me, like some people said Cora Jade, some people said other names, but the reason why she was one of the most, or if the most surprising to me, was she was killing it on. She was improving in the ring. She was already decent on the mic, and she was improving everywhere. But she was on NXT. They got called up to the main roster. They did main roster PLE. Hell, they did a tag match at Crown Jewel.
Yeah.
You know
overseas.
What I'm saying?
Like y'all trusted them overseas.
Bruh, like she was just on main roster PLEs and she was in TNA and on NXT doing great. And I can understand if you want to see what Lash can do on her own, put Jakara somewhere else.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, bro. Like
Or
that
just
one
have
that one
her,
kind of shocked
or
me.
do what you did. I don't want to say do exactly what you did, but do what you did with Hit Row. Have them all come up and just focus on one person.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was something else, man. But I really that one really shocked me. But I won't be surprised. The reason why I think some people said a stardom run for her is just to give her a more all around style, like to give her a different flavor, a style of wrestling than what she's used to. And
Mm.
so a lot of the times, like going to Mexico or going to Japan and kind of learning a little bit different way about doing things can be beneficial to some of these stars. And like it kind of gives you a little bit more well-rounded game and it kind of shows you another side of things. So I think that would be beneficial to her.
Hey, and don't be surprised, because she gets comparisons a lot to Mercedes. And word on the street is that Mercedes actually wants her in AEW. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Mercedes is trying to form a little stable up there, because she
Mhm.
seems to want the Renegade twins really heavily. And
Mhm.
I could easily see something where like she forms something with the Renegade twins and Jakara Jackson, and they just form like this women's stable. You know, I don't think they've really had. Well, I think the last real women's stable they had was the Outcast, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so that's what I'm like. For real. Hey.
Man. Hey man, I'm just glad I wasn't drinking the water or nothing when you said that because it would have like I would have spit all over everything just now.
That is a horrible name. It's like, damn, that really was the last serious
Yeah,
women's faction it was, and it's like,
yeah.
damn, they ain't do jack
Yeah,
shit.
They didn't do nothing.
not a
But see,
damn thing.
but with Mercedes though, and what we see from her momentum, like just imagine. I mean, let's say she did beat a Tony Storm for the title and won all the belts, and then suddenly formed this stable, and now it's like a power trip kind of thing, and then it's just like unstoppable or whatever. I don't know. Listen, it's the potential is literally unlimited with it, but you could see it, maybe, you know. But if
Yeah.
she goes on her own, does her own thing in Stardom or something, I'm not mad at that either. Because like y'all said, she's into that Japanese culture heavily, anime, all kind of stuff.
And
So
she's a Kenny Omega fan, so it's like
mhm.
you can tell
Yes,
she
yes.
like yeah. June 1st, we're gonna be paying very close attention to Miss Jackson. That's all. And who knows if she goes by her real name, Jamara, or if she goes strictly by Miss Jackson. Like they didn't trademark Miss Jackson. That's just something she just came up with.
Ooh.
Jakara Jackson is one thing, but yeah, they just it's so many ways they can do it. You brought up contract Shotzi. They just say, yeah, we're not gonna renew your contract. You can go.
Dog, when you talk about the ultimate disrespect, I saw that tweet she posted where she literally retweeted the fact that your last match was a 3-minute match on Speed, and she's like, I can't wait to have a match longer than 3 minutes. I'm like, dog. I remember when Shotzi hit the scene in like that pandemic era, not too long after, like a little bit before it, but like right when it was hitting. She was getting that push real heavy. And like somehow in that Vince era, she just they messed her up and she just never really recovered since. And you would have thought that when Triple H got back in charge, I thought he was a Shotzi guy, but apparently not. Because as I heard that they said Sean Ross Sapp was saying, if Triple H wanted to keep any of these people, he very well could have.
Oh yeah, during his live stream after
Mm-hmm.
the releases happened,
Mm-hmm.
and even though I'm pretty sure he has more context to what he was saying, that is a good question. That is a good statement. Like even though he's not the head in charge, if he wanted to keep these people, he would push back on it.
Yeah.
Oh, most definitely. Like I'm not gonna debate that or doubt that or anything else. But
Mm-hmm.
again, just the overall theme of all of this is still a business and it
Mm-hmm.
still has to be run like a business. and they're not a nonprofit. So it doesn't matter if they're coming off of their most profitable event and their biggest weekend, views, clicks, money made, tickets, merch, all that. It don't matter. It's still a bottom line that they still want to try to achieve. And they have shareholders that they have to answer to now and stuff like that. And there's a whole board and whatnot. So it's and this happens every year, a couple of times, maybe a few times a year. Um, like we can be shocked at who gets released and thinking that they may have had potential and the what ifs and whatnot. But we need to stop as wrestling fans as a whole being shocked that these rounds of releases actually happen because it's a part of the business. It's something that goes on every single year. And that spring cleaning post mania roster release time is one of those times where it's notorious, where everybody's on pins and needles, because when your phone rings and it's that Stamford, Connecticut zip code popping up, you're like, oh shit, what's going on? You know, and the notorious so and so didn't pick up the phone or doesn't answer the phone and all that kind of stuff. Like people speculating where these people are going to go and what they're going to do next and all that kind of stuff. Like, let's stop acting like this is brand new. This is stuff that goes on every year, all the time. So let's stop being shocked by it. And let's just, move accordingly and stop. Please. We know wrestling fans ain't gonna stop with all the weird stuff, but like, can we at least stop being shocked by all this kind of stuff?
Yeah, because
I don't even think they'd be shocked anymore. I'm starting to think they're not shocked. They're just doing that just so they can get their engagement off.
Yeah, that fake outrage is really crazy, bro. Yeah, because as much as we talk about JD, that man said something that was so real that I was like, that's true. Like, everybody gets outraged at the release, but then are you going to be at a House of Glory show if they pop up in the front row getting their merchandise? Are you going to be at TNA if they go to TNA? Are you going to be at AEW?
Look at you, JD. You getting a gunshot.
Yeah. Now, I was like, man, look, that was the most real thing I've ever heard you say, brother. Like, he was letting them fake fans have it because he was like, nah, if you're gonna say that, I want to keep that same energy. I want to see all these indie shows.
Right.
Even then, it's like, and even then, like if you take away the trending and all that stuff, where they are you buying their merch?
Yeah.
Are you pushing? Like, are you showing up and like? Because that's the thing. These companies are looking at money. If you're not buying their merch, why keep you around?
It's the merch and also those quarter hour and hourly metrics.
Like if you're tuning out at that time, like they'd be like, okay, whatever this person is doing is not working, and we have nothing else for him to do. So we're not going to pay him to sit around anymore.
Facts.
Go.
Exactly, and especially like the moving forward part, like. If they feel like they're not going to use you moving forward and you're not going to be like a big part of things, or they can't envision you as a part of something major moving forward, then it's like, why keep this dead weight on the roster? We got so many other people that we have that we can push or what have you. Why keep them around?
And we're not going to sit here and act like there's no other options for these people. Yeah. Like if they want to go somewhere, you got the indie wise, like that is pretty much booming off the top of the dome. Ashe Wrestling, DPW, House of Glory, MLW. You have so many non-national TV indie companies. Hell, GCW, if you wanted to go, like they have various branches of their brand. You got you got TNA, AEW, you got ROH. If you want to get your reps in, go to ROH. Like, yeah, a lot of people don't really watch ROH, but you can still get your reps in if you're a wrestler. So it's like, it's so many places for you to go. As before 2019, you really wasn't, a lot of stuff wasn't popping. Like the indies was already on life support. Like a lot of people weren't going to these places. But post-pandemic, you have options. It's just, do you want it bad enough?
Yeah.
MLW, House of Glory. I even saw something earlier that I believe it's Shimmer is coming back.
They're thinking about coming back.
Right.
So like for the ladies, you got WoW, I believe. WoW still.
That's WoW too. Exactly. Yeah. So there's there's a lot more options now than there were before. And another thing is that the international market has opened up a lot for these people as well. Because we saw guys like, well, I mean, they have international ties, but we saw like a Drew Galloway, aka Drew McIntyre, get released from WWE, go back home to Europe, and start to rebuild himself there, and then start to rebuild himself here. And then he got re-signed by WWE. We saw Cody Rhodes, do the whole indie tour here and then go to Japan. I mean, that's how AJ Styles made his name. He made his name in TNA, went to Japan, and then WWE hopped on him. So I mean, there's a lot more options nowadays, and the business is a lot more healthier than what it was before. So I'm not as crestfallen as some fans are when some of their favorites or whoever gets released. I'm like, hey,
It's okay to feel bad for them, but don't make it your
right.
entire. Don't change your entire mood.
Exactly.
Stressing about their pockets when you should be just like, okay, I'm gonna wish you well. Just let us know where you're going when your contract is up, like when your no compete is up, and we will follow you. To steal the words from Cody Rhodes' theme song, we're gonna follow you to the end. So that's all you have to do. Like, just be. Moral is just be a fucking fan.
Hello.
Hey, and the last. Let's stop with the whole. Oh, it's a coincidence that all these LGBTQ and all these specific the Aussies are all.
Listen, I'm not gonna tell y'all how to feel about that, but please stop, because it's
and I'm not telling you how to feel about that too, like at all. It's more so just don't write and think that just because
those people are the same people who I'm talking about when they just want to get their engagement off, even though they don't really give a fuck. Let's be real. The real ones who know these people are not feeling the exact same way.
No, not at all.
And
that's the only one. And then I also look at click on their bio. People who say that, they be motherfucking like 19, 20, 21. I'm like, you're kids. Get out my face.
Okay. Because I was hearing about that too. I was hearing a lot about that too.
I mute the honestly, respectfully, if you're under the age of 20, 21, be cool or get muted. That's all. Be cool or get muted, because I'm like, I'm at this point, I'm not finna go back and forth with you. You're a child to me.
Nah, facts. Big facts.
You're a child to me. So
literally a child to me, because
I had to do that with somebody with the WNBA. I had to do that with somebody with WNBA talking about, I only watch because of Caitlin Clark, and I was like, I'm sorry to hear that.
Like, congratulations.
And literally, they just, I'm like, I'm sorry for that, and they want to try to respond to me. I ain't bothered replying. I'm just like, bro, no.
Like, bro, you missing the whole point. And I'm not even. I don't even have time for it. I just like Reg said earlier. I just scroll past.
I'm blind. Huh.
Okay.
Swipe.
Swipe. Like, all right. Yeah. I understand. I hear you. But man. Moral is, like, all we can do is just wish everybody well when it comes to these releases, and go kill it.
Nice.
And speaking of go and kill it, I guess we could talk a little bit about non-Backlash stuff that happened this week on Raw and SmackDown. That main event, Jey Uso versus Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship on Raw. I finally watched it yesterday because I fell asleep again. So I finally watched it. I've been falling asleep a lot lately. So,
bro, you ain't the only one. I get it. Me too, bro.
Like, I fell asleep again. I'm like,
Me too.
Because I think I was watching a little bit of it, and I was like, yeah, I'm kind of tired.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna go to bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
This is kind of why I miss those overseas Raw times sometimes. Just a little bit.
Oh yeah, because it was like during the day, in the middle of the day, like 12, 1 o'clock.
Yeah, 3, 4, 12. Those are good little times. Because then you're like, all right, cool. Take me a little nap. And do what you do after that. You know what I'm saying? But shoot, when it's 8 o'clock, it's like, oh crap. I gotta be up, bro. Like, I can't stay up all like this.
Especially if it's like I think yesterday, because yesterday's case. No, I take that back. Yesterday's case, by the time I got off work, I was exhausted, and it was the main event, and I was like, you know what? I'll just catch this tomorrow. Like I was listening through Twitter, like I was like, oh, that's cool. But then I'm like, let me watch it for myself. But then I watched it for myself on the train this morning. I'm like, this is actually good. Like really good.
Yeah. It was, bro. A lot of people get on my nerves when they talk about, oh, Jey Uso only has this many moves, or Jey Uso can only do X, Y, and Z, and blah 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 blah.
I think his problem is he's not built for the slow, methodical matches.
No,
His style is high octane, fast paced. Seth is a perfect opponent.
Mm-hmm.
Like the reason why Tribal Comeback sucked, the reason why, like the reason why Jimmy versus Jay sucked is because, well, the Jimmy and Jay ones was they had their time cut and it was just a super kick fest. And in my case, it was cold as shit outside and I was just checked out. But as far as so it's like, but anything else, it's like whenever people try to slow it down, it doesn't work. The first time Jay and Gunther went one-on-one for the Intercontinental title, they leaned more towards Jay's style of match, and it was great.
Mm-hmm.
This when he won the title, it was solid, but it was fun. And in this one, I'm like, yo, they leaned more towards the high octane, high fast. And they also told some stories too. Like they slowed it down a little bit. Seth was busted open in the back of his head. So yeah. It just proves that, hey, cut it out with the slow, methodical matches when it comes to Jey Uso. Fit their style and keep it pushing.
Bresh, you make a point with that, bro, because here's the funny thing. We forgot to throw in Braun Breaker in there because he's had some bangers with Braun Breaker, too.
Oh, yeah.
And we know that.
Back and forth for the Intercontinental title? Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He's far from slow and methodical with his style. So it's like that cooked. And like you said, I mean, if you take out all the slow and methodical matches, he's cooked with a lot of people. That's why the Usos, the New Day, worked so well. That wasn't slow and methodical. They were going at each other like left and right. Hence that infamous Hell in a Cell match that everybody loves. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh man, brother, that one I gotta go back and watch it again because in the kill part about the Usos and the New Day, they would have certain parts where it was like high pace, and then they would slow it down, and kind of work something and tell that story or whatever. And you build up to that hot tag and whatnot. And like you would get, especially when you had like the Usos working that heel style where they would cut the ring off in a tag match and you had to build up to that hot tag. Like that whole art right there of tag team wrestling a lot of the times to me is lost. And I'm not about to get on a rant or get on my high horse or be like back in my day or nothing like that, but it's just
back in my day, back when Obama was a toddler.
Look, it's true because it's like you have to know, like there are certain parts about working a match that just work, and it doesn't matter what area you're in, what style of match you like to put on, your move set, work rate, whatever it is. There's certain parts of psychology that just always work in wrestling. And that's one of those things that always works in wrestling. And it's something that not a lot of people can do. But props to Jay for adapting and for being able to go out there and work a match with a guy with a more technical, methodical style and still put on a great match.
Yeah. So I'm cool. And speaking of great, Paul Heyman's promo. The brother Spaz, even though he was looking like a overcooked rotisserie chicken again.
Oh no. Oh no.
Bruh.
Overcooked.
Bruh.
Boy, so burnt. I'm pretty sure he's like bro, you stuck. Like your face.
Somebody compared him to like the little sliders, the top of the sliders where it be kind of dark. Somebody like they showed a picture of like a slider and then like his bald head or whatever. I was done, man. I was done because it does. I mean, it does kind of look like that. Like he kind of overdid it or whatever. Makeup, whoever tan.
No,
Whoever
that
did
was the
it.
tan. Like him
Yeah.
and Braun need to. Pat McAfee said, "Hey, they just took a trip to the sun."
Look, Kevin Owens with the troll of the century. Asking Seth Rollins, is he gonna?
You gonna do it too, so you can just match it up, so y'all all y'all can have the same tan. Like y'all could be the team tan. Y'all don't have a name. Y'all could be team burnt.
Hey man,
Hey.
listen, they look like they UT fans because all of them was burnt orange.
Burnt.
All of them was burnt.
I was like, God, I'm like, bro, you are burnt.
Bruh.
Stop it,
If
Braun.
they
He's in his
throwing up
20s. He's still learning.
If they would have did this and started singing "The Eyes of Texas Are Upon You," I would not have been surprised.
Yes, Braun. Listen, Braun is in his 20s.
Oh
He still got a lot to learn. Paul, you damn near 60. You should know better,
Bro, come on, bro. Come on, bro.
That is.
But now that promo he cut, I'm like, I love it when villains are justified. He's like, hey, Roman. He's like, I helped Roman build the island of relevancy, and I like the fact that he still acknowledged him as his tribal chief. But he's like, I turned on him because, like, bruh, you left me for dead. You left me to get beat up by your little cousin and extended cousins.
And when you come back for the who to follow.
And not to avenge me. And then on top of that, my best friend in the world knows how Roman gets, and he put me in a position to jeopardize my relationship with my tribal chief. And then he want to know why I turned him. Like, bro, you set me up for danger.
Facts. Like you.
So I'm like, damn, this nigga got a point.
I mean, bro, this is why I say that it was a while ago, because to me, Bobby Heenan was the best manager or whatever of all time. Like he had that number one spot. And I want to say it was sometime, I want to say maybe during his Lesnar run or so, is when I finally the second Lesnar run. It was sometime during that second Lesnar run, and I was just like, it's Heyman. It's clearly Heyman. And it was so obvious that he had taken over that top spot. And just his mic work alone and him being able to work an angle or get the crowd riled up. And you could see, like, he literally, every time he's on the mic, he commands the room and he has the crowd eating out of the palm of his hand. And he gets whatever it is he's trying to get, he gets it over no matter what. And that promo was so passionate, so intense, so believable. It was just one of those things where it's like, it's almost like if you could see Picasso paint, or if you're in the studio with like Quincy Jones or somebody, or like a Dr. Dre or somebody, or like if you could watch like Tom Brady or like Joe Montana engineer a game-winning drive or something like that, or you could see like Jordan or Magic, like, engineer a comeback or something. That to me is the level that Paul Heyman has when he has a microphone in his hand and he's standing in the middle of that ring. He's in that upper echelon of like one of the GOATs of all time, no matter what generation, in his business, in his field, because he's so convincing and so believable. And he plays that role so well. It's just one of those things. It's literally watching a work of art live and in person.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I agree.
100%.
Absolutely. And so basically they're building, I thought this was building up to like a Backlash match, but apparently this is one of those matches that's just building up to like a Saturday night's main event. Because I wouldn't be surprised, because obviously we saw the return of CM Punk at the end. Sammy, I don't know why he has a kink for getting speared. Like I'm convinced Sammy has a kink for getting speared, because my brother, you got speared twice.
Oh my God, you killed Sammy, you bastard.
Yeah, it's bruh. Sammy is literally the Kenny of WWE. Prove me wrong.
That's what's given.
Prove me wrong.
Prove me wrong.
Like, bruh, He
That's
gets
exactly what's good.
he gets it, it's him and Rey Mysterio. Because Rey Mysterio always hurt and he always getting turned on. It's him and Rey Mysterio.
Ray getting turned on. I'm starting to think it's justified because you keep your track record is not doing well.
Listen. Like, you know how they say I work on me because sometimes I might be the problem. Ray, it's time to have a conversation.
It's time to have a conversation. You
the
problem.
Conversation, dog.
Use the problem. Use the problem.
Bruh. Like,
and speaking of problems, we was talking about women earlier on about the age and everybody's ages. Becky Lynch, they started doing this Raw recap thing? I don't know if you guys ever caught a glimpse or a single solitary second of it. It's basically their Raw Talking Smack podcast where they recap everything that happened on Raw.
I gotta start checking that out because I used to watch Raw Talk or the after show, whatever it was. They used to come on right after Raw. And like when they kind of stopped doing it or whatever, and then they changed the day or something like that, like I fell off a long time ago. But I'm gonna have to start watching it because there's a lot of interesting little tidbits that comes on there sometimes. And I think the last time they had a post show that they produced themselves like that was good was Smack Talk, right after SmackDown. And that's when you got like the Daniel Bryan thing with Miz, and you got like some Paul Heyman stuff, and you got like a bunch of different stuff like that. They're starting to do that now with the Raw after show, whatever they call it.
Yeah, the Raw.
Talking Smack.
Talking Smack. There we go. I knew it was something like that. It had Talking Smack.
It was Talking Smack. Then it was like the SmackDown Lowdown. And then
they did change it. You're right.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff. But Becky had a couple of interesting points that was pretty much the talk of the show this week. The first one was Becky Lynch takes aim at the booking of the women's world title scene over the past year. And she was like, and I quote, "Oh, they had a great year. Oh, what are you talking about? They had a great year. Freaking women's world title revolved around some bloke with a dodgy looking mustache. What are you talking about? They had a great year."
Bruh.
I mean,
the only thing I can chalk that up to is that she was in character.
I don't think she was.
I don't know about that.
I really hope that she was, because it's like, if you think that highly of yourself, Rebecca, I'm sorry to inform you, but they don't need you.
Nah,
they really don't need you.
I ain't gonna hold you. She had a point. Right message, wrong message, because she had a point. The fact that the women's world title revolved around Dom last year was fucking stupid.
Well, I'm gonna say not that the women's world title, it was just that story revolved around him, and Rhea had the title. Yeah. It wasn't that it revolved around Dom. It was just that she had that she had the title, and he was involved in that story or whatever. So it's just. And Marty, he talked about it on when he was on Marks with Mikes, and I go back to like when we were watching Mania at our watch party in Vegas, right? Lyra comes out, and people said like, if Becky comes out, I swear, like da 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 da. And I told people, I was like, she's gonna come out, because after we saw the Bayley injury and everything, I was like, yeah, Becky's coming back. And then when Becky came out on her music hit, when that first when that hit, bro, I kid you not, my homegirl, her fiance, he got straight up and walked straight outside, no hesitation. Next thing you know, I was in the kitchen doing something. I turned around and I looked, and like half our party was outside. It was like 3 people in the house. Everybody else was outside. I was like, damn. I was like, y'all really don't fuck with Becky like that, do y'all?
Yeah. It's a lot for it.
Bruh, let me tell you. I know, because like I said, I like to go back and rewatch everything a second time just to see if I miss something, or if I pick up on a different vibe or something like that. I kid you not. Every time I tried to rewatch it, that part I always found something else to do, and I was disinterested in it. Like it just didn't it never really sparked with me. And I think that they really need to go away from that whole the man gimmick, and they need to big time Bex or something needs to come back, or they need to do something with her character, because that whole the man gimmick that it
It
is
peaked in 2019.
yeah, like once
I
she
feel like
main
the
evented,
man
won the
gimmick,
title and stuff.
the man gimmick should have it started and stopped. It started in 2018 because people didn't want to boo her over Charlotte. I get it. But when she won the main event in 2019, that's when they should have started pivoting. I mean, I get it because money wise, people were like we mentioned money. WWE loves money, and the man gimmick was selling merch left and right. But when she went away during the pandemic because she went to have a baby,
Mm-hmm.
post pandemic, that's when they should have flipped it on its head, and they did with the whole big time Bex thing.
Yes, that was when she came back. That was that I liked that gimmick more, and she worked heel a lot, especially towards the end of that gimmick, and it worked, and it got
Mhm.
over, and it was effective and everything.
And then
But
they
this
just went
whole
right back to the man, and
yeah,
it became a it became a shadow of his former self.
and the thing is I wouldn't even mind like if they like she needs to come out and cut a promo and talk about like her insecurities or something.
She tried
And
that, didn't work.
and Charlotte tried it and it didn't work. Becky tried it, and it's because it's not believable coming from them, because the perception is that they've both like stepped on and walked over or whatever that division.
The whole being vulnerable thing would have worked years ago.
Yeah.
Now
Mm.
doesn't work.
Uh,
So I think that, and so I think now that's the reason why they just go right into it. Becky's like, okay, you think I bury people? All right, bet I'm finna win this title on Saturday.
Yeah, and I like the fact that she's coming back to work a mid card in the mid card title program with one of her mentees
Yeah, because she
and
could have
trying to.
easily just said, yeah, I'm finna go after that world title.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Because like it could have been her on one title and then Charlotte could have been on the other title, and it would
Mhm.
have
Yep.
really been like the whole Nepo baby, the Nepo queen, and Becky Hogan thing. It would have just been two different programs, and they're both doing their thing.
Speaking of the Becky Hogan thing, where the fuck that come from again?
Because of the creative stuff, like with her wanting to like assert herself and stuff like that, and
Is there can we use another name though?
well,
uh,
Cause it's fucking Hogan. Like fuck that nigga. Fuck
I
that
think I
nigga.
think I think I understand. I think I understand that, but I feel what you mean, Chris. I get it. I
Like,
get it.
word
The
to
last
Shelton
name because of
Benjamin.
this.
Word to Shelton Benjamin. Fuck that nigga.
hey, that doesn't work for me, brother.
Like, damn. Like, is there anybody else who had creative control like Hogan that we could use? Like,
Kevin Nash, Scott
He-
Hall.
People actually like them though.
damn.
Exactly. Exactly. Oh, no. I know one.
Damn.
Bill Berg. Hey, in a low key way, the man politicked his way to get a retirement match. So,
I mean, I can see that, but it's like people don't really fuck with him either.
But that's what I'm saying. They actually do. The casuals
Yeah, well,
do.
yeah. I mean, the casuals definitely do. The casuals definitely do. You're right. You are right about that. But I don't know, man. It's and that's a great comment by Sierra. It doesn't work when we've been conditioned to see these women as the pinnacle, the standard. Everyone is inferior to them. That hit the nail right on the head. And my thing is you have to that card has to be played right at the right time.
Mhm.
And Charlotte could have had that opportunity had she not won the Rumble and had not had that title match in Maine. Like if she lost the Rumble, and she lost the match, or she lost, like let's say she lost the Rumble and lost that Elimination Chamber again, right? And she's just trying to get back, and she's had the personal struggles and the divorce and the injury and that could have been something that could have parlayed into a storyline right there.
Big facts.
But with the whole, I won the Rumble, I'm picking who I want, and I'm coming right back to my spot that I left. You know what I'm saying? It fed into like what Sierra was saying. And Becky, same thing. You stayed out all this time. You had been re-signed for months, apparently. And you took a Mania spot from a beloved fellow wrestler who's been here this whole time, busting her ass and holding up and propping up these different women in this division. And it just made it seem like and I'll put it to you like this, Gresh. The whole Becky Hogan thing, if you ever watched that WrestleMania 9 documentary and how he basically weaseled his way back into that title shot after being gone for a year and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's why.
I understand that part, but it's just like Hogan of all people.
I get, and I get Gresh's point, because obviously that we know of, Becky ain't out here being, a whole racist.
And she's even said, she's like, why y'all comparing me to this nigga? She's like, I'm actually busting my ass for y'all. Y'all calling me Hogan? And I'm like, because off the record, her and Seth do not fuck with Hogan.
No, they don't. They don't. Not at all.
So that's why I was like, damn, we ain't got no other.
But I mean, I guess if they,
I guess I gotta settle with it. Fuck.
How much did Cena politic in his heyday?
He didn't. He just never said no. That's the problem. I think that's what a lot of people's beef with Cena was. He never said no when people felt like he should have. Exactly. The one time he politic was with the Nexus stuff.
Exactly. So I guess you can't even say Becky Cena then, because he ain't politics.
I guess I gotta settle with Becky Hogan. Fuck. Damn. Shit.
Oh well, no. Wait, maybe Becky H.
Oh yeah, Triple H did do a lot of politicking.
Wait, whoa. Becky Michaels.
Yeah, he did politic too during the 90s and the 80s. Yeah, he did.
Becky Michaels.
Wait. Becky ain't out there wilding like that though, man. She a whole mom with a family.
Okay, so Becky H then. Yeah, let's just abbreviate it. Let's just abbreviate it to Becky H, because Triple H definitely did politic a lot.
We're not gonna find the perfect comparison. We're just trying to find a Hogan alternative.
Yes, we're not like everybody's assholes around here. Okay, we're just trying to find a way to just all have to keep calling her Becky Hogan.
We're just trying to find the best asshole we can match her with.
That is hilarious.
Like I'm tired. I'm tired of talking about this nigga. Every time we were talking about Becky, I'm like, Becky H. Can we just find something?
See, Charlotte's easy because that's a flare. So she's easy.
And they politic like a motherfucker too.
Exactly.
Listen. That one was a layup right there. That one was a layup.
Yeah, easy. But
this one was a contested 3.
Did anything happen on SmackDown? Because I actually watched it today after I got off work, and I'm like, nothing's happening.
The only thing I will say is the notes that I had was Jacob Fatu continues to prove he's one of the scariest men on the roster.
Yeah.
Aleister Black is back. Try saying
how we feel about that? Because we've had back-to-back single return matches for both Aleister Black as well as Rusev, and I'm happy to see him back. And also he was getting into better shape when he was in AEW, and you can see now that he's got like the 6-pack and stuff on. Like he looks more more cut and more, you know what I'm saying? He got his body right. The other thing that I had notes from SmackDown was last week we saw Jade and Tiffany Stratton in the match. Then it got interrupted over them. Mm-hmm. And people had a lot to say about that match because it's 2 pretty green wrestlers in the ring. Like who's leading the match, who's calling it, blah, blah, blah.
and they had an
Why
okay
do they
match.
keep bringing it up? They acting like these people are incompetent. Like
I
they
don't
know
know,
how to
bro.
follow instructions. I promise.
I don't, bro. I have no idea why. This is part of the reason why I made sure I put this in the notes for this week because of what was said last week. Those ladies came out and they put together a good tag match going against a veteran team in Nia and Naomi. But the high spot was Jade with the power bomb and everything, and just like her like positioning herself to go after that title. And then Naomi saying, nah, I want to go after that title. And we already know Nia wants to come after that title. So it's like all the other three women involved in that match want to come after Tiffany's title.
Wow.
So I just think that they're because remember we were talking about this pre-Mania about how that match with her and Charlotte would end up and what would be the stories coming out of that. So to call back to that, I'm looking at how they're playing this out, and she literally has three different women in this same tag match that she was involved in that's wanting to come after her title.
You think they setting up a fatal 4-way?
I think so. I think so. And I think that's a way to get her another match where they could potentially take the title off of her without her having to be pinned and then still keep a storyline going forward.
Yeah, because from what I heard, apparently Jade and Nia are facing each other one-on-one for a number one contender spot.
Yeah,
so
next
you already
week.
know.
Yes.
Yeah. So we already know Naomi's interfering in that one. So it's a given. It's a given.
No, but then I'm saying a fatal 4-way, but knowing Nick Aldis, he'll probably say, "Hey, okay, we're gonna have a triple threat match next week for the number one contendership." Okay, and then Tiffany gonna get involved. It's like, okay, you know what? We're gonna have a fatal 4-way. You know, we got to prolong this shit. No fucking reason.
Yeah. Good point.
So,
you know how it goes.
Wrestling. Gotta love it.
Hopefully that's a real visual we see right there with Naomi with that title. That out of these four, that seems like the option. It's too early for Jade. Nia's had her run, been there, done that, and Tiff, from what people are saying right now, ain't the same Tiff yet. She got to go back to that heel Tiff.
She should have never been a babyface to begin with. I'm just
that's the briefcase's fault.
That's them fault with Charlotte, because even when she was won the title, she still was heel.
Yeah,
but when Charlotte came into the picture, they was like, "Fuck."
She was, but it was tweener vibe. She was still getting cheered too, so it was like maybe in how she acted. Yeah, but
that was fun because let's be real, Jacob is in the same situation. He's a heel, but he still gets crazy cheered. So that's what I'm like. You can lean into it a little bit, but don't do a full flip unless you have a direct plan. And you can tell that they didn't have a direct plan for Tiffany to be babyface. They just said, "Fuck, we ain't got no choice."
They pretty much got her in limbo right now. You know what I'm saying? It was just she gonna. I don't know how they're gonna find a way to get her back to that point. They're gonna have to find a.
No, she's interesting. Don't get me wrong. I just feel like they need to find a way to smoothly transition her back.
Yeah.
Without making her look too stupid. But speaking of smooth transitions, takeover in Paris. WWE is going back to Australia for Crown Jewel. So that's going to be like so basically, if you watch Elimination Chamber in 2023,
I believe that was. Yeah, that was 3.
Let's be real.
What was that? 2, 3 in the morning?
2 in the morning.
Yeah.
It when they do those Australia shows, it reminds me a lot of like when I try to catch certain New Japan shows or whatever. And I'll never forget, like, one time I was asleep in the bed. This when I was still married, and I got up or whatever. And then I was like up watching like it was probably a Wrestle Kingdom or something. And my ex-wife was like, "What were you doing at like 2 in the morning or 1 or 3 in the morning or whatever?" I said, "Oh, it was some wrestling on I was watching." And she was like, "Why?
2 in the morning?
Why?"
What the fuck are you doing?
She was like, "It's bad enough. Like you'll get up at the ass crack of dawn on Saturday to watch soccer in Europe. Like, and now you getting up at 2 in the morning to watch wrestling in Japan?"
She's like, "What the fuck is wrong with you? What the fuck?"
Bro, I swear, I'm gonna pull back the curtain a little bit.
This,
I'm not
this
gonna
is
lie.
dedication, woman. I love this stuff.
When I got divorced and she moved out and everything, I told the kids, I was like, guess what? I said, number one, we ain't gotta worry about nobody telling us about the house smell like food when I cook. We gotta worry about nobody telling us the food too spicy. I said, we ain't gotta worry about nobody telling us we too loud either when we want to be loud and we playing our game and watching sports and stuff. I was like, let's cut loose. And then my son be making too much damn noise. And I'd be having to tell him, hey, bro, like, can you quiet down? Because you too damn loud. Like, I'm glad you enjoying yourself, but bro, god damn.
Hey, chill out. That's too much.
But nah, man, like I love those pay-per-views though, because and the thing was, man, what I remember about that show, the crowd was so into it and they were so hyped. It literally woke me up. And it was like when those crowds are into it and you're watching that, like with the New Japan shows, it's kind of hard because Japanese fans are so like thoughtful and respectful. Like they cheer and stuff, but they're more polite about it. Whereas the European crowds and stuff, they're like loud, rowdy chants and everything else. So it gets you more into it.
But they don't get those shows.
Exactly. That's the thing that really like gets me going about those kind of shows is that the crowd really gets you going.
So Crown Jewel, I mean, is the Saudi thing finally done, or did they
Night of
switch
Champions.
this?
They got Night of Champions in June.
Yeah, no, that's not going to be done. I think
Yeah,
the pandemic extended their contract, so they're going to be around.
It was like a 10-year deal or something like. I want to say it was a very long-term deal.
So,
it was very.
I wouldn't be surprised if they renew it.
Very lucrative.
No,
it ain't go at this point. It ain't going nowhere. That's
No, and not that I expected, because I was very aware of all of that. The reason I asked that is because why the heck is Crown Jewel still a thing then? Because I thought that was just a Saudi thing.
No, a lot of you have the same assumption that all of us do, but yeah, they're giving Australia Crown Jewel and they're giving Saudi Night of Champions again.
Yeah, it's just weird, like because I thought the same thing. Highlight, I was like, is Gresh talking about two different pay-per-views or something? And then I forgot. I was like, when he put up the graphic, I was like, oh, they did change that because he was like Takeover, Crown Jewel, and I was like, wait a minute, whoa, wait, what are we doing here? But it is. It's called Takeover Perth because they're doing a bunch of shows there.
They're doing that SmackDown. So that SmackDown, if you watch it if you have a VPN, you're gonna be watching it at 2 a.m. on Saturday, so you can avoid spoilers. You can watch it, and that's the thing too. Raw is gonna be live regardless, so it's gonna be at 2 a.m. on Monday.
I ain't watching that Raw because I'm up for work. I'm just gonna tell you, I get up for work at that time. That ain't happening. Sorry.
It's not about that. I was like, oh, that's 2, 3 in the morning. It's gonna be literally Raw.
Yeah.
Pun intended,
brother.
Y'all gonna be going Raw on Monday morning. Can I get a toot toot? Can I get a beep beep?
Listen.
Oh shit.
Hey, bro. Listen. Hey, it be them shows where I just be like, man, fuck it. I'll just catch the highlights or watch it later or something. Spoilers be damned. Like, oh well. Like,
I get up on a good day. I get up at 4. On a good day.
I can't.
And that's just me to go get ready to go to the gym when it opens because I prefer when it opens because I can get in and out by 7.
No, exactly. Yeah, nah.
But
I'm good on
2 a.m. for a Raw. Ooh, Jesus.
Man, I ain't that dedicated, bro.
We love y'all. We love y'all. Anything happening in AEW besides Darby being a fucking idiot as always? Put that back.
Explain that. So you have a clip of this, or is it just on his socials? Like,
it's on the socials. It's on the socials. I'm actually about to pull the clip up. I gotta find it, but yeah, it's actually on the socials. Like he literally was on Mount Everest just flipping. So he actually made it. So he basically made history. I believe it's the first. It's the highest.
It's the highest elevation to do a kickflip on a skateboard.
Yeah.
at 20,000, almost 21,000 feet above sea level.
Jeez. That's
My thing is like it was man, it was a few episodes ago, but like I said, like the old people say, that boy is touched.
That boy is touched.
That boy is
I don't
touched.
think he's touched. I think he's full on massage.
so. This nigga
I'm gonna pull
is he's kick flipping on a skateboard in this mountain.
Yeah.
Backflip.
Yeah.
Wow.
He did a kickflip in the snow on a mountain. Like,
Yeah.
and you, bruh, in order to do a good kickflip, you need to be on a flat, even surface, pretty much.
Listen, my brother in Christ, I don't do none of that shit because I'm not slow.
That's what they call the white
All right.
genius.
We are at Everest Camp 2, and the elevation is, pull out the watch for official proof. You got it?
Well, he
Let me
look
see
like
this
a bum.
bad boy. We're gonna be in the shade. All right, 1 second. Can you pull to the elevation? Guys, I am not doing that kickflip again. Right there. Let me see here. 20,958 feet. That, and Dorji, is a world record for highest elevation kickflip. Right there, Everest. Right there is Everest.
Okay, boy. Yeah, that boy ain't touched. That boy's tickled.
Something wrong with him, bro. Like,
I don't even think anything was right with him. That's the thing.
my first thought was when I saw this, it wasn't, oh, cool, this, that. Why the hell do you have a skateboard with you? You climbing a goddamn mountain.
Why do you have? Yeah. Why does he have that?
Like, bro, we literally talking about you climbing, and if you read anything about climbing Everest, as you're climbing the mountain, you literally see like dead bodies and stuff. Because sometimes they can't bring your body back down with them or whatever. So you're literally, sometimes you see like frozen bodies or whatever. And people always die on this trip. And it's like a common thing. Why the hell do you have a skateboard with you and you climbing a mountain? What like, why? What purpose does that serve? For this? And I agree with Sierra. That's 30 seconds of my life I'll never be able to get back. At this point, it's probably close to 2 minutes because I done seen it a couple of times.
I'm so
You
sorry,
know,
sis. So
you
sorry.
know, white
Just
people.
saying. There you go. That's the explanation.
That's all I got. You know, white people. Yeah.
That's the explanation. That's all we got.
Because we're sitting here trying to wrap our brain around this idiocy and it's not working because it's not meant for us to think about it. Because it's like, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
We
like,
use this a lot.
It's like watching a horror movie when you just watch them like go run.
Yeah.
Like, why would you go that way?
That's the reason why I don't watch a lot of horror movies now. I used to. I stopped because I'm always talking shit. I'd be like, why the fuck are you going in there? What is the purpose?
Exactly. You heard a noise. Oh, let me go check it out. Why?
Oh my God, what is that? What is that? It's like you're shaking towards it. I hear a noise that I know for a fact that wasn't there 5 seconds ago. I'm going that way. I'm leaving.
Gone. No chance.
Bruh, I don't
Call me Scooby-Doo. I'm gone.
It makes absolutely no sense. Like, this guy is just,
he could have been world champion, but he had to go up there gallivanting all up on that mountain, and I'm pretty sure I didn't use that word correctly, but hey for effort.
Bruh, like, you, of all the side quests you could have went and conquered, you want to go try to climb the world's tallest peak? Like, bruh, why couldn't you just go surf in one of them like 20-foot waves or something? Or like go explore some cave or something. Or like
his ass, he would have went to the narrow corner of the cave and said, I'm gonna go try and get in this. Help me. I'm
Like,
stuck.
I don't know, bro. It's just this one of them kind of things that reminds me of the failed submarine that was controlled by the Xbox controller.
Ooh.
It's like, why would you do that? Why you do that? You know this is not smart, and you're gonna do it anyway.
Because.
Hey, you gotta do if you're gonna do it, you gotta do the whole.
Right.
You gotta do the whole forearm. Yeah. Come on, dog.
Oh man, people are idiots.
I'm telling you, like it's funny because the ethnic side quest is something that's a whole topic that could carry a whole nother podcast.
Yeah.
And I need to write that down in my notes because ethnic side quests vary from ethnic group to ethnic group.
Yeah, we're gonna have to. That's probably gonna have to be one of those rare extra episodes because the last extra episode we got Scott D'Amore was fired from TNA. That was the last extra episode where we were just talking about whatever. But yeah. We need to dedicate an entire episode where we just talking like, okay, what do we do as this group or this group or this group or this group? I have several questions.
The only other thing that I saw was earlier. Oh gosh, I can't remember. It was today though. But Willow had a comment where, and I'm paraphrasing, where she basically said she only had the TBS title for about a month and she would love to do it back. Currently, we know Mercedes holds that TBS title.
Oh yeah.
Mercedes is tending towards, possibly going for the world title if she wins the horn or whatever. So, and we know that there's another battle somewhere down the line with Cena that's going to come up with Mercedes. So it's like, where do we fit that in, and where does Willow fit into that picture? But I would love to see Willow with another title run. Like that would be dope. I would love it to be a world title run, but at this current time, the top of that area is kind of crowded. So how do they fit her in there? But I can definitely see her in the CBS type.
All I will say is Willow, run it back.
For sure.
Please do, because I can't get enough of seeing Willow on my side. That is a black woman.
Oh yeah, the time is right. The time is right.
Oh yeah,
And,
man.
Speaking of group stress, I mean, MJF's got to hurt somebody.
You still doing this shit?
Yep.
I mean, that's how he can get approval from Bobby. He's got to hurt somebody.
Bobby basically told him, if you want my thumb, you have to hurt somebody.
Pause. Wait a minute.
Bruh, I couldn't wait to get that line because, like, as soon as highlights said he gotta hurt somebody, I was like, ooh, yeah.
Oh man.
As soon as you brought it up, I was like, I got it.
My brain, I didn't hear nothing else you said. As soon as you said thumb, I was like,
oh shoot. I was like, wait. As soon as I heard thumb, it hurt somebody. I was like, oh no, wait.
You said if you want my thumb to hurt somebody. What do you mean by this?
Oh no.
Hey, what makes it even funnier, I was talking to my homeboy yesterday. He was telling me about how last time they were down there, he saw Bobby Lashley at the hotel he was working at. I mean, that's a big motherfucker. I was like, yeah, bro. I said he walked past me in Vegas when we was at this late night show at the casino that didn't start till after midnight. And I was like, he's not as tall as they say he is, because like I can see the top of his head. And I was like, he is a big dude though. He is a big dude. I was like, but I said, give me about a month, maybe 2, 3 tops. I said, I think I could take him because I think I would be a little bit quicker than him. I said, because he's a big, bulky dude. So even though he's a
He kinda
decent
fast too.
athlete and explode, I was just getting ready to say, trust me, he still can move and everything. But it's like when you got all those, lats and shoulders and all of that kind of stuff, like I know your lateral movement with your arms and stuff ain't that good. You can't, because how you even if you flexible, bro, you bulky.
That's
So
the
I
reason
don't
why
know.
when
So
it comes to me, if I get bulky, I still have to stretch more because I don't
Yeah.
wanna I don't mind bulking up, but I also wanna make sure I'm not stiff.
And my thing is like I didn't want to bulk up because like I got knee problem. Like my tendonitis be flaring up. Like I be standing in the kitchen cooking and my tendonitis start acting up. So it's like I know if I put on more weight, like added bulk, like it would just I don't want that to be a problem. So I just but I've dropped. I gotta get on my scale today, man. I haven't got on my scale yet because my sister convinced me to buy this fancy scale that measures like your BMI and all of that.
Mhm.
And like I know I lost about 10 or so pounds since the last time I weighed myself a while ago.
Okay.
But yeah, man. But no, I just think this whole storyline, some people think it's dragging out. They're adding little bits and pieces to it every week. And it seems like he already had MVP and he's convinced Shelton. Now it's Bobby that he's working on. And that's the hardest one because that's the one who was dead set against it from the beginning. And so
Mhm.
it's almost a little bit of, if you remember in the Bloodline story, the Sami, Zayn, and Jey Uso kind of thing, how that went on for so long. And then at War Games, when he did the thing with KO and all of that, and he helped them win, that's when he finally got the big hug and the big payoff from Jey. Same thing here. So to me, if we were patient enough to see that through, we need to be patient to see this through too. And I know they aren't on the same level as far as magnitude of the storyline is concerned because we're talking about one of the top stars in the business, and we're talking about like, a good star and a good group or whatever. But it's not on the same level. It's just not.
Nah.
So I think we just need to give it time, and hopefully they're gonna finish cooking this meal soon because I don't want it to go on
Too
and be
long?
aimless in direction.
Yeah. That's what I think that's my only I'm always hesitant. You know me.
Yeah, yeah,
Especially
yeah.
with MJF because he's done similar stories
Mhm.
a lot.
Yeah.
To the
You have
point where I'm like,
t-shirts.
I don't want it to go to the point where okay, they accept him and then he turns on him. And I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
we're
My
doing
only
this.
thing is I'm hoping that because MVP and them is involved, it won't be like that.
Yeah, and
You
they've
know,
actually
because
said it on repeated occasions. Okay, if he gets out of line, we're gonna deal with him.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. So I'm hoping they get to it and we get a payoff on this sooner rather than later.
I
True.
think that's where Cedric will probably come in because he'll do that.
Do you think he's still coming? Because he has not even made an inkling of a.
That's
Well,
probably why.
I know June 28th he's gonna be at Ashe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So All In is in July. So when I looked at his terms of his release and appearances and all of that, I knew that there would be a period of time where he would be free before All In starts.
Mm.
So if he is to come back and he is to reunite with them, and there's been talk from him and from them, especially from them, but he even said it in his Chris Van Vliet interview that it is being considered. So to me, when he came out and he said that himself, it lets me know that the whole thing with Swole and Tony Khan and everything, that's between that man and his wife and what they decide to do. I'm not getting in them people business like other people like to do.
Yeah,
If he's saying that, okay, cool.
I didn't even consider that anymore. I feel like if it's something, the only way you see me beef with you for life is if it gets physical. Like if you
Yeah,
physically wreck my wife's income or physically like legitimately mess her up long term, yeah, we got a problem. But if it's something that you guys dealt with personally one on one and you've moved past it, hey, let's go make some money.
Yep.
Thank you, because that's what we all here for.
And I'm sure
Is
knowing Swole, man, she want him for that too. Like she want him to do that. Like, hey, go do your thing.
Go
bruh,
do your
by
thing.
all accords, she is a a good woman,
Mhm.
and she got that man back like never before. And like I know for a fact like that, like they solid. You know what I'm saying? They're a solid couple. And to me, that's why I said if Cedric coming out saying stuff like that, him and his wife must have had a conversation or whatever about it. And it's all about making money and doing good business and whatnot. And if they can talk that out and work that out or whatever, then more power to him. Like I just want to see the brother happy, healthy, and successful, no matter where
Facts.
he's from.
Facts. So now that we got all this out the way, we're gonna spend the next the final 15 of today's episode previewing and predicting Backlash this coming weekend because we pretty much talked about everything. If we missed anything, you guys can make sure you guys tap into the Public Enemies podcast. I will not be there this Thursday. Cujo will fill in for me because I have to work. And the show is going to end at like 8, and the show starts at 7, so it's gonna clash. I might try to slide through if I have time or if I get back in time. If not, make sure you guys tap in with Graham, Cujo, and Big Max Jizzle. But as far as Backlash for this weekend, it is headlined by John Cena versus Randy Orton. Will John Cena versus Randy Orton deliver at Backlash? That's the main question. I guess we can start off going backwards and all the way until we get about. Do you want to start with the main event or should we go in order?
We can start right here since we got the graphic up and everything, and we're already
Bet.
here. I just think
This is dubbed the one last time.
I think Cena retains, and I'm gonna say there's gonna be shenanigans involved.
Now those those shenanigans don't involve Travis Scott this time, now, do they?
No, I don't think it's. I think it's gonna be like a ref bump, a chair, title, or nut shot, something
You don't
like
think
that.
fiend?
No. Because honestly, I would love it if he walked out there with Cena. And like halfway
Facts.
during Cena's walk to the ring, the lights go out, and then you hear the music, and Travis Scott just pops up. You know, I would love that. But because I would love for wrestling fans just to be extra pissed. That would be it's great. I love when the timeline is in a tizzy about stupid stuff like that.
So we all
Like-
going across the board that John Cena is retaining.
Oh, undoubtedly, yes. But to answer that question, I do think it might low-key deliver with its fair share of shenanigans. Now, in a 1980s kind of way, but hey, it'll still be.
Yeah, that reference is legitimate because I'm gonna be honest with you, it will deliver if you have your standards low,
Mm-hmm.
not in the gutter, but low. Like don't expect them to come out here and have this 5-star classic, your 30-minute matches. This is basically going to be, shout out to Biggie who just got engaged, big meaty men smacking meat.
Facts.
Pretty
This
much.
is not 2009, people. Okay.
And
No.
even then, it was kind of slow. Let's just be real. Like 2009, John Cena versus Randy Orton. It's giving me PTSD all over again. Like, good God.
He made Cena. Back then, Randy made Cena work his style of match. And Cena was able to pass. You know, it was like a B minus C plus, but I mean, he still.
Now
passed.
they both work the same style.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
And the only difference is Randy's actually much bigger than what he was back then.
Yeah.
So it's like it makes more sense for him to work that kind of style now.
He
He's
took
older
over
and he's much
Batista's
bigger.
body.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
So the Viper's venom took out Batista.
Yeah.
Batista lost muscle, he gained it.
Yep. He said, I'm about to be beef for the both of us. I'm going to be buff on your behalf.
Bro, they basically swap bodies.
Literally.
Exactly.
They
That's
swap
exactly
bodies.
Literally. I'm like, what the heck? How did this happen?
Exactly. What? Talk about invasion of the body snatchers. What the heck?
Man, look.
Snatch.
Yeah, I
boy.
think Cena retained. And you know what? I wouldn't even be mad if it was something like a schoolboy roll up and he puts his feet on the ropes or something like that. Like
Yo.
continue to piss people off with the endings of this match.
You get
Yo.
nothing. You lose.
Bro.
Good day, sir.
Fine match.
Fine match. Like, bruh, John Cena should come out with that merch. Fine match.
Yes.
Like, fine speech, but like, fine match.
The front should
I
say
like that.
fine speech and the back should say fine match.
You get
Good
nothing.
day, sir.
You
Yeah.
lose, bitch. You lose.
I like that.
Another match where where we already know who's going to lose. Becky Lynch challenges Lyra Valkyria for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. I know, Jermaine, you put in the notes that Lyra is starting to get out of her shell with these
Yeah.
last 2 weeks.
Them last couple of promos, I think that it's starting to, because I saw a little bit of online chatter where it's starting to make people kind of more interested in her character. And like I've been saying, those vignettes would have helped her out a lot on the main roster. But these last couple of weeks, the promos that she's cutting where she's getting impassioned and she actually got the jump and got the best of Becky, like that's starting to really put her over and elevate her. And this part of the program here, where she's bringing Lyra out and pulling more out of her to get people more invested in her. This is why I said all of this should have taken place on the road to Mania.
Mm.
And if they were going to do something at Mania, this should have happened at Mania.
Yep.
That would have been better because that's a better way to build Lyra into a bigger star and make better use of Becky and whatnot, instead of pulling the rug from under Bayley and having it look like that. Because whether Becky was involved, whether it was her decision or whatever or not, it probably wasn't, but she went along with it and it screwed over Bayley. And so it feeds into the whole Becky Hogan thing or whatever. So, but I love the fact that it's actually like pumping up Lyra. So I can say that's one thing about Becky coming back that I am happy about. The only way I see Lyra winning this is if Bayley costs Becky the match.
Yeah. I can
Good
see
point. Good point. Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned that too, Jermaine, because I was having the same thoughts, and a lot of people have been also in agreement with that. And crazy thing is, going back to that Tiffany thing for a second, it was mentioned, I think, by Bully. He observed the fact that this feud is exactly a copy and paste of the Charlotte Tiffany thing, but with the opposite effect, because Lyra's not being spoken over, and something like that. Like Lyra's actually shining the way Tiffany was kind of supposed to shine, but because she's naturally a heel versus Lyra, who seems to be naturally a babyface, it's actually working for her versus how it didn't work for Tiff. So I don't know. Part of me is like, I don't mind Becky H winning this so that the thrill of the chase happens and it makes Lyra that much bigger of a star when she overcomes it, just to get the crowd to get behind her that much more. And because of the pattern that she's, kind of bested her like twice now, kind of reminds me of the Cody effect, where it was like, yeah, he bested Cena twice in a row. Look where that got him. So I feel like this is one of those cases, but it's going to set her up for the big thrill of the chase where now, while she's doing what she's doing with that title, the elevated, if you will, the crowd gets that much more behind Lyra if they book it right, to where she eventually gets that title back, and now she has the run that people thought she should have had the first go round.
So we've basically come to the conclusion that Becky's winning on Saturday.
Yep.
For sure. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. So Lyra, get ready to learn the lyrics to Fiend, Fiend, Fiend.
Hey, but look now, we can't count out Bayley though. That's what I said.
I definitely see they're alluding to Bayley coming back, and I feel like if Becky wins and she doesn't go directly to Lyra, she's going straight to Bayley, and that's going to be your I feel like it's gonna be your next pay-per-view match. Whereas I feel like Lyra, if they do take the title off her rematch is gonna be like a Saturday night's main event.
Yeah, you're probably right. Like I said, my little caveat for this is if Lyra retains, Becky injects herself in this match and helps Lyra win.
Oh yeah,
So I can see
that's
something
definitely
like
the
that.
outside that I can see with Bailey returning
Mhm.
to set that up. As far as a match that was just set up on Raw, Dirty Dominic Mysterio's first, what was the second title defense, will be against Penta.
Hey, okay.
Man, bro, my head is telling me Dom is retaining because they want to get him like back firmly implanted and being a heel after he got that big baby face pop at Mania.
Mm-hmm.
But my
And it's
heart
not
is
working.
saying it's not because people are still cheering him.
Yeah.
And the only way I could see him getting more of that heat back on him is by screwing over Penta. But at the same time, you still had that whole situation with the jealousy of Finn Balor lurking.
Mhm.
So that's what gives me pause for cause. But I think I think that this is going to be Dom retaining
Mm-hmm.
some kind of way somehow because I think that they're moving towards whatever this payoff is with him and Finn.
Also, keep in mind they have AJ Styles lurking finally.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's right. See, so Dom has to retain. He has to retain because AJ wants a rematch or he wants a title shot or whatever. And I don't think he's held that Intercontinental title.
No, he
So
has.
that he has?
2020 during the pandemic.
Mhm.
It was him and Sami Zayn.
Oh, you right.
That's
When
how Sami
Sammy
Zayn
was
won it.
pulling the when he was pulling the whole conspiracy theory gimmick
So
shit.
remember in
You're right.
2020, it was him, AJ Styles versus Daniel Bryan, and they had like a great match in front of the PC recruits. That was for the
Yeah.
Intercontinental Championship. AJ was the champ
Yeah.
for a bit. Sami Zayn won it, but then when he left, he came back, and I think Jeff Hardy was the champion, and they did the ladder match thing.
Yeah. You're right. You're right. You're right. Yeah, that's
So he
true.
won. He's been Intercontinental champion. You just barely remember it.
Yeah.
Doggone pandemic years, man. There's
Like
such a
if you
blur.
erase the pandemic from your brain, you don't remember it. But
It's
if you,
certain spots that I still remember. And what's crazy is like I love going back and watching old shows, random old shows or old matches.
Mhm.
I cannot recall me going back and watching anything from the pandemic era.
Let's
Facts.
just the one things that I did go back and watch was literally just the beginning of the bloodline
Facts.
and maybe Bailey versus Sasha in the cell.
Yeah, now those I definitely have to run those back.
Like I run those and
Definitely got to run those back.
those are the pretty much all that I did was run back and maybe just like the entrance of the Fiend from
Oh
time to
yeah.
time. Like if I want background and I want to
Yeah,
like do the Fiend or whatever, I'll probably go back
hell
and
yeah,
watch that. But as far
hell
as
yeah.
like really go back and watch it, nah.
Mhm. Yeah,
I try to forget most of that stuff because that was when they was doing random shit like the zombie shit. Like I don't know how we survived 2020. I really don't. Like
hey, they was promoting the
Hey.
movie. They got a check, and
hmm
they went ahead and says, "Hey, let's do it."
It's not.
so is it so we go on dumb across the board or
Yeah, Dom. It's still too early for Penta to win some gold yet.
so we
Definitely
definitely
not.
see shenanigans with them losing though.
Oh, absolutely. It's Dirty
Oh
Dom.
yeah,
That's always
definitely,
gonna be that.
definitely.
Yeah, it's dirty. He like he won't be dirty for a reason. Like you gotta keep the gimmick alive.
Oh yeah.
Oh, speaking of Liv Morgan's movie will be wrapping in mid-May for those who care.
Okay.
Let's go.
Cool.
Speaking of care, Gunther versus Pat McAfee.
Ooh.
Gunther flat out told this man on Monday, "Hey, bruh, you call me soft? It's gonna take the act and the grace of God to get my hand or from around your throat, cause I'm about to choke you out."
He found a nice European way. So I'm gonna beat your ass.
Yeah.
I'm
He
gonna
said it's
beat
gonna.
your
He said
ass.
it's gonna take. You know how much you gotta hate somebody to say it's gonna take the power of a celestial being to remove me
Listen,
from your corpse.
listen.
Pat's about to die.
Yeah, and I think he's gonna enjoy the hell out of getting his ass whipped on TV too. That's the
This
sicko part about it.
this reminds me of that. What's that Ice Cube movie where he was a teacher and he was gonna fight dude?
What?
Oh, you talking about when his snitches get stitches or whatever it was, the substitute or
Yeah,
something like that.
it was like something fight. It got the word fight in it, but it's literally dude being horrified because he's trying to figure out how he can get out of this fight that Ice Cube's about to, yeah. That's kind of what that's reminding me of a little bit.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah.
Hmm.
I haven't been able to like I've tried to start getting into some movies and stuff lately, and I watched a couple of good movies last night. Because I was up all night and I couldn't sleep. I had one of them insomniac nights. But yeah, I think I saw this match ending one of two ways. Either Gunther just like if they have a good back and forth, and then Gunther just starts beating the hell out of him, and it's a brutal ending. Or if the rumors are true, and they are trying to involve Goldberg and create some sort of angle for his final match, which I really hope they don't do, but I can see it happening. I can see him interfering.
It's happening because of fucking Atlanta when they cheered him.
Bruh,
Yeah,
I
but
just really
that was
wish
because
they would
it's
stay away
Atlanta,
from
bro. They ain't in Atlanta for
I'm
this
from Atlanta. Fuck that nigga. What you talking about?
You ain't a casual, bro. I just said casuals in Atlanta love this man. You know this. You know this. Not you. Casuals. Michael Vick fans. Michael Vick fans. Ludacris fans. T.I. fans. Jeezy fans. Those casuals.
Nobody knows the trouble I see. Nobody knows
Bruh.
my sorrow.
y'all wow.
Nobody knows the trouble I see. No.
Oh man.
Hey, bro. I'm
Hey,
telling
see, this is that part of the episode where I'm glad I don't have my bottle sitting right here on the table because I would have to pour another drink. I swear that shit, y'all just took me back. Like that was insane. But nah, man. Like I
In all
saw
seriousness, I've
aggressive.
accepted it. If it happens, it happens.
Yeah, and that's why I brought it up because it's like as much as none of us hardcores want it to happen, we have to remember the casuals can be needle movers. And they are needle movers. Whether we want to accept it or not, they do move the needle. And they have to cater to them at some point to a certain extent. And whenever they want to pay this off or what have you, it's going to pay off. And I love the whole I'm sticking up for my friend because I'm a stand-up guy and that's what I do. And I don't care if I go out there and I get slaughtered because that's my guy. It's a classic story to tell, but yeah, Gunther's winning this match. It's just a matter of will he beat the hell out of Pat McAfee and pin him, or will he get the disqualification win because Goldberg interferes? I think that he's just going to beat the hell out of him and brutalize him.
Yeah. Nah, yeah. I go with the monstrous appeal because you still got to give Gunther that mystique, right? And something's got to make up for that tap out. By the way,
The quickness of the tap out.
Yeah,
the tap out wasn't the problem. It was the quickness of it. Like that
it was
brother
all of it. It was the whole thing. You tapped out and you tapped out quick. It both. When you tap out, you get you tapped out chance for life, no matter how quick or how late.
Surprisingly, they haven't given him that.
They did when he first confronted Pat McAfee and Cole.
Oh, I'm talking
He
about
said-
like this week. Like, unless I missed it, but nah, they didn't do it this week. I think because Gunther shut him up after he said, "I'm finna choke this bitch out."
Yeah. Plus, it's Omaha.
Yeah. So, and I believe unless there's another match that is announced on Friday, which I doubt because they typically for the B level pay-per-views they try to keep it for 5. I believe the last match is it is a fatal 4-way match. We talk about Jacob Fatu being a bad dude. He has the chance to prove it by beating LA Knight, Damian Priest, and Drew McIntyre in a fatal 4-way match for his United States Championship. This looks like a cover of a boy band. I can't explain.
No, this don't look
bro.
like this look like the cover of a like a mid 2000s rap supergroup.
You got the Samoan, the Puerto Rican,
An
and two
Irish
white.
dude and a Maryland dude, the East Coast dude, East Coast white boy. So it's like, trust me, like this looks like, bro, this is like,
This is
you
power.
know what this is, bro? This is Color Me Bad 2.0.
This is legit power.
Yeah, pretty much. This is. Yeah,
This
I
is
mean,
power.
I was
yeah.
thinking The Wire myself.
Oh, The Wire. Yeah. Like, this is The Wire. Yeah, this is The Wire. Yeah.
Okay.
Huh. Wow. All right. Well, I can tell you this
think-
much. That's match of the night for sure. Right?
Oh,
Jacob,
without question.
Jacob is retaining.
Jacob is retaining. Like,
Absolutely.
yeah, that I mean.
Jacob is retaining. Absolutely.
Right there. So overall, what is the excitement level for Backlash this weekend?
Um,
I'm at a solid 3-ish.
3 out of what? 5 or 10?
3 out of 5.
3 out of 5. Yeah, I'm like a 3.5 or so. Cause like I'm a watch and pay attention or whatever. Regardless, like I got a family function that I believe I got to go to Saturday for graduation. So shout out to Seth, man, little cuz getting his master's or something. What he getting another damn degree? Like shout out to little cuz.
Hey.
But nah, man, like I'm excited because it's a pay-per-view and I want to see how everything goes and progresses and what things they're gonna surprises or whatever they're gonna pull out, how they're gonna end these matches and whatnot. So I'm always kind of excited about it, regardless, just the fan in me. It's just that I'm not as hyped about it because so many outcomes are so predictable. And that's why in we've talked about this before on Susio Sports. Sometimes when you think the outcome is so predictable and you get that swerve, that curveball that you're not expecting, that's what makes it more fun, and that's what really like sends it over the top for you. So sometimes when you go into a game or a pay-per-view or a movie, a show, whatever it is, with kind of mediocre, low expectations, and it exceeds those expectations, that low expectation going in sometimes boosts the rating that you have afterwards because you weren't expecting much out of it. And then when you get more out of it, it elevates it. So I'm thinking this is going to be has the potential to be one of those pay-per-views because we're not expecting much.
Yeah. And those are the best ones when you just put your expectations mad low. I think I'm always disappointed with. I think if I'm ever disappointed with a WrestleMania, it's because it's WrestleMania. You always put your expectations high, but when it comes to like a Backlash or whatever, you put that junk low. That's the reason why we have fun and bad blood, because it's like we put our expectations low.
Respect the doggone thing, and ended up getting Mr. Liar himself,
The Rock, where nothing came of him coming out there.
Nothing
at all.
The biggest thing of him coming out there is people keep thinking, "Where's the third man?" It's damn near a year later, and people are still looking for the third man.
What's everybody's like? I was joking last week. What's everybody's obsession with a third man? Whether it's Braun and Seth,
it's either a third or a fourth.
third or fourth man. It's like, what's like? Stop watching WCW, please. Like, Jesus Christ. It all started with them. Like the third man. Who's the third man? Like, nigga.
I guess when they
Did you
knew
know
they
you got a
formed.
third, fourth, fifth, sixth? You end up getting a 47th man.
Yeah.
NWO.
End up being NWO 2000. But what you won't end up being is bored, because we hope you enjoyed today's show. Like I said, we will be back here next Tuesday for
Yes,
the
sir.
fallout of Backlash. We'll be talking about it. I believe there is a post show on Saturday for over on the Public Enemies podcast.
Oh, nice.
Definitely slide through there.
For sure.
But other than that, yo, what y'all got coming up this week? Start with you, Jermaine.
Susio Sports at Susio Sports with a Z tomorrow. We're gonna get started about 8:30 ish Central Time, 9:30 ish Eastern Time. We're gonna kick it all off. I'm also waiting to hear word back. I'm supposed to have some stuff coming up that I'm writing for Black Wrestling, and I gotta tap in with somebody this week. I gotta get a hold of this person to tap in with them. I'm supposed to start writing something else, so I gotta start working on that. I'll probably tap in with this person maybe later on, send them a message or something like that, and get a hold of that. But yeah, I'm just trying to get started because the BRP 50 drops on Juneteenth. And so I'm just trying to like work ahead of schedule and get everything that I need to get my part ready ahead of schedule. So when it does drop, like I got my part ready. So we're gonna be working on that. And Susio Sports tomorrow. Probably gonna cover a lot of NBA playoffs and stuff like that. It's not like this time of year it gets kind of weird because there's a little bit here, a little bit there. It's not a whole lot, but there is still something covered.
Yes, sir. I like.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Charlie's Collectibles show. They got some appearances. They just had Mark Henry here this past Sunday, and they got Matt Hardy pulling up on June 15th. So your boy will be in the building. Make sure y'all pull up if you're in the Atlanta area. They're growing a lot, you know, especially if you're not even just into wrestling, but if you're in anime, sports, comics, all that kind of stuff. It's a really, really dope spot. Make sure y'all pull up. Say hey, come check out Charlie. He's a really cool dude that organizes all this stuff. We got some freestyles loading and just keeping it simple. Not too crazy right now, but in the meantime, yeah, that's all we got going over here, bro.
Hey man, shout out the highlight for the new lyrics of the song this week, man. Like, bro,
oh yes, thank you.
I wanted to make sure we publicly give you your flowers on that, bro, because legit, like every time I run it back, I be like, I catch it, bro. I swear I catch a new bar every time I run it back. Like,
yeah, bro,
I catch a new one.
I try to give it to him, man. Me and Gresh still took a few of those wrestling freestyles in the vault somewhere, deep in the vault.
Yeah, it's got to scroll through.
We got to scroll through. I think we got an Obafemi one somewhere in there.
I didn't
we got a
drop
couple of them. Nah, we never. Remember, he didn't have enough footage on him yet. That's what you said. Yeah, he didn't have a lot now because he won the title and everything since then.
Yeah, so I got enough footage for that. Yeah. I just thought about that. I was like, wait a minute. Yeah, he has a lot of footage. Yeah.
Yeah. See, I did that one back when he was still green, so he didn't really have.
When did he win the title?
Oh, he won that thing like late last year or early this year. I thought.
Push gonna shove. I might.
It was
for like year. Like if he makes it, like if they keep that title on him for a year, I might just release it for like hey, here's a year from year 1 to year 2 type beat.
Yeah, facts, bro.
But hey, man, hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode, and we will catch you guys next week. And with that being said, you guys stay safe. Make sure you guys stay safe, stay hydrated, stay clean, and make sure you guys stay united as much as possible, because hey, this world is crazy as hell. But hey, at least you guys can always circle around us talking shit about wrestling and making fun of you if you go crazy online, because that's what we do. We like to poke fun of you because hey, we are all hardcore wrestling fans, but some of y'all go a little bit overboard. But hey, we still got love for you too from a distance. I don't love you up close, just from a distance. But hey, with that being said, you guys stay safe out here in these streets. You say what?
January 7th is when he won the NXT title.
No, January 7th.
Oh, January 7th. Oh, yeah. All right.
Also, that's fairly new. Yeah, we'll knock that out. But that being said, you guys stay safe out here in these streets, and remember to always eat, sleep, flex, and repeat. We out. Y'all be breezy.